Kim Hana pressed her face against the cold metal wall of the ventilation shaft and tried to stay quiet. Her stomach hurt from hunger, but she could not risk going out to find more food yet. The crew of the Stellar Dawn was still awake and moving around the ship. She had been hiding in these narrow spaces for 3 whole days now. 3 days since she sneaked onto this exploration ship at Station Kepler 7. 3 days since she ran away from the debt collectors who wanted to hurt her for the money her dead father owed them. Hana pulled her stolen food packet closer to her chest. It was her last one. She had grabbed it from the kitchen storage room yesterday when the cook was busy elsewhere. Soon she would need to find more food, or she would get too weak to hide. The ship made a soft humming sound as it traveled through space. Hana had learned to know all the different sounds the Stellar Dawn made. The quiet hum meant they were moving fast through empty space. The louder buzz meant they were slowing down. The sharp beep meant someone was using the communication system. Right now she heard the quiet hum, so they were still going somewhere. Hana did not know where. She only knew she had picked this ship because it was leaving the station and going far away from the people who wanted to hurt her. A voice came through the ship speakers. It was Captain Lee Taman. Hana had seen him once when she was sneaking through the halls. He was tall and looked serious but not mean. All crew. "Members report to stations," Captain Lee said through the speakers. "We are approaching the coordinates. This is what we came here for." Hana heard footsteps in the corridor below her hiding place. The crew was moving around and getting excited about something. She crawled forward in the shaft until she found a small window that looked out into space. What she saw made her stop, breathing for a moment. There was a ship out there in the darkness. But it was not like any ship she had ever seen before. It was huge, much bigger than the Stellar Dawn. It was so big that she could not see where it ended. The metal on its surface looked different too. It was not the gray color of human ships. Instead, it was dark, but with lines of blue light running across it like veins. The strange ship did not look broken, but it looked very old. Older than anything Hana had ever seen. The blue lines pulsed slowly like a heartbeat. It made her feel strange to look at it, like the ship was alive somehow. "My God," she heard someone say in the corridor below. It sounded like Commander Park Min-ho. "Look at the size of that thing. It must be 10 kilometers long at least." "Though energy readings are off the charts," said another voice. Hana thought it might be Dr. Nam Ji-ho, the science officer. "This technology is far beyond anything we know about." Captain Lee's voice came through the speakers again. "Prepare the boarding shuttle. Teams 1 and 2 get ready. We are going to make first contact with whoever built this ship." Hana felt scared and excited at the same time. She had heard about first contact before. It was when humans met aliens for the first time, but she had never thought she would see it happen. She pressed her face against the small window and watched as a smaller ship came out of the Stellar Dawn. The shuttle looked tiny next to the huge alien ship. It flew toward what looked like an opening in the alien ship's side. As the shuttle got closer to the alien ship, something strange happened. The blue lines on the ship's surface started to glow brighter. They pulsed faster, like the ship was waking up. Hana felt a weird feeling in her chest, like something was pulling at her heart. The shuttle disappeared into the alien ship. Now all they could do was wait. Hana tried to stay comfortable in the narrow shaft, but her legs were getting sore. She had been hiding in small spaces for days, and her body hurt all over. She shifted her weight and tried to find a better position. That was when she made her mistake. Her elbow hit a loose panel in the wall of the shaft. The panel made a loud bang as it fell. Even worse, her movement triggered something in the ship's system. Red lights started flashing in the corridor below, and an alarm began to sound. "Hull breach alert in Section 7, the ship's computer said in its calm voice. "Emergency protocols activated." Hana's heart started beating very fast. She had triggered the emergency system by accident. Now the crew would come looking for the problem. They would find her hiding place. But something even stranger happened next. The moment the alarm started, the alien ship outside began to change. The blue lines all over its surface suddenly blazed with bright light. The whole massive ship started to turn toward the stellar dawn like it was looking at them. "Captain?" Dr. Nam's excited voice came through the communication system. "The alien ship is responding to something on our ship. Its energy output just increased by 300%. "What could it be responding to?" Captain Lee asked. "I don't know, sir, but it's like something on our ship caught its attention." Hana felt that strange pulling feeling in her chest again, much stronger now. It was like the alien ship was calling to her somehow. She did not understand why, but she felt like the ship knew she was here. Heavy footsteps echoed in the corridor. Below, Security Chief Yoon Dae-ho was coming to check on the emergency alarm. Hana tried to crawl away deeper into the shaft, but there was nowhere to go. The shaft ended just a few meters ahead. The footsteps stopped right below her hiding place. "The breach alarm came from this section," Security Chief Yoon said to someone. "Check all the panels and vents." Hana closed her eyes and wished she could disappear. She had run away from her problems on the station, but now she was about to face new problems here. What would they do to a stowaway? Would they lock her up? Would they send her back to the debt collectors? Outside the ship, the alien vessel continued to glow brighter and brighter. Its blue lines pulsed in a pattern that almost looked like code, like it was trying to send a message, but Hana did not know that the message was meant for her. The sound of metal being pulled apart echoed through the ventilation shaft. Security Chief Yoon Dae-ho had found the loose panel that Hana had accidentally knocked down. His flashlight beam cut through the darkness of the shaft like a sword. "Come out of there right now," Yoon said in his deep voice. "I know someone is in there." Hana pressed herself against the back wall of the shaft and tried to make herself smaller. Her heart was beating so fast she thought it might explode. Maybe if she stayed very still, he would think he was wrong. "I can see your shoes," Yoon said. "Come out now, or I will call more security officers to pull you out." Hana knew she was caught. There was no point in hiding anymore. Slowly she crawled toward the opening of the shaft. Her legs shook as she climbed out and stood in front of the security chief. Yoon was a big man with serious eyes. He looked at her dirty clothes and thin face. "Who are you? How did you get on this ship?" Before Hana could answer, Dr. Choi Soo-min came running down the corridor. She was the ship's language expert, and she looked worried about something. "Chief Yoon," Dr. Choi said, breathing hard from running. "Something strange is happening on the alien ship. The boarding team says the ship's computers are trying to communicate with us." "Not now," Yoon said, keeping his eyes on Hana. "I found a stowaway. She was hiding in the vents." Dr. Choi looked at Hana with surprise. "A stowaway? But that's impossible. Security checked everyone who came on board." "Well, she's here," Yoon said, and she triggered the emergency alarm. At that moment, the ship's communication system came alive with excited voices from the boarding team. "Stellar Dawn, this is Commander Park," came the voice from the alien ship. "The ship's artificial intelligence is active. It's trying to scan our ship for something," Captain Lee's voice answered from the bridge. "What kind of scan?" "It looks like it's counting people, sir. The alien computer is making a list of everyone on board our ship." Dr. Choi's eyes went wide. "That's incredible. An alien artificial intelligence that can scan through space and identify individual humans." Suddenly, the lights in the corridor began to flicker. A low humming sound filled the air, different from the normal ship sounds. It seemed to come from outside the ship. "Captain," Commander Park's voice came again, but now he sounded worried. "The alien ship just finished its scan, but something strange happened. It found 44 people on our ship, not 43. Dr. Choi looked at Hana, then at Security Chief Yoon. 44 people, but our crew manifest only lists 43. The extra person must be her, Yoon said, pointing at Hana. The humming sound got louder. The whole ship began to shake slightly. Through the small windows in the corridor, they could see the alien ship's blue lines pulsing brighter than ever. "All crew members report to emergency stations," Captain Lee announced over the speakers. "Something is happening with the alien vessel." But before anyone could move, a new voice filled the air. It was not human. It sounded like it came from everywhere at once, speaking through the ship's communication system. But the strangest thing was that it spoke perfect Korean. "Greetings, humans of the vessel Stellar Dawn," the voice said. It sounded neither male nor female, but somehow very old and wise. "I am the guardian of the eternal Aegis. I have been waiting for a very long time." Dr. Choi grabbed her recording device and started taking notes. This was the first time any human had heard an alien speak their language. "Waiting for what?" Captain Lee asked through the communication system. "I have been waiting for the return of the bloodline," the Guardian said. "The descendant of those who fought beside my builders long ago. The one who carries the ancient genetic markers." Security Chief Yoon looked confused. "What is it talking about?" The Guardian continued speaking. 10,000 of your years ago, your species and mine were allies. Together, we fought against the great darkness that sought to destroy all life. Your ancestors fought bravely, but they were not ready for the power we offered. The alliance ended in sorrow." Hana felt that strange, pulling feeling in her chest again, stronger than before. It was like something inside her was responding to the alien voice. "But the pact was made," the Guardian said. "When the darkness returns, so too would the bloodline. The genetic markers would call across the stars, and the chosen one would come to take command." "Command of what?" Dr. Choi asked, her voice shaking with excitement. "The Eternal Aegis, the greatest warship ever built by the Viridian people. The ship that has waited in the void for its rightful commander to return." The humming sound grew even louder. Hana could feel it in her bones now. The corridor lights flickered faster, and she could see energy building up around the alien ship outside. "The Chosen One is among you now," the Guardian said. "I can sense her presence. She carries the genetic pattern of Commander Hana the Brave, who saved my builder's homeworld in the final battle against the darkness." Hana's legs almost gave out. The alien had said her name. How could it know her name? Security Chief Yoon and Dr. Choi both turned to look at her with wide eyes. "Your name is Hana," Dr. Choi said slowly. "The alien just said Commander Hana the Brave." "But that's impossible," Yoon said. "She's just a stowaway. She can't be connected to aliens from 10,000 years ago." The Guardian's voice came again, and this time it sounded like it was speaking directly to Hana. "Child of the ancient bloodline, the time has come. The darkness stirs once more in the deep places between stars. The hegemony has returned, and they seek to finish what they started long ago." A beam of blue light suddenly filled the corridor. It came from outside the ship, passing through the walls like they were made of air. The light surrounded Hana, and she felt a tingling sensation all over her body. "No," she said, backing away from the light. "I don't want this. I just wanted to get away from my problems." But the light followed her, getting brighter and warmer. "The ship has chosen," the Guardian said. "The bloodline calls to its destiny. Come, Commander. Your people need you and time grows short." The blue light began to lift Hana off the ground. Security Chief Yoon tried to grab her arm, but his hand passed right through her. "Help me!" Hana called out as the light pulled her toward the wall, but there was nothing anyone could do. The ancient alien ship had found what it was looking for, and it would not let her go. Hana woke up lying on something that felt like warm metal. Her head hurt badly, and bright lights made her eyes water when she tried to open them. She could hear strange humming sounds all around her, different from the sounds on the Stellar Dawn. She sat up slowly and looked around. She was in a huge room with walls that curved up so high she could not see the ceiling. Blue lights ran along the walls in patterns that reminded her of tree branches. Everything looked old. but also somehow alive. "You are awake," said the Guardian's voice. It came from everywhere at once, just like before. "Welcome to the command chamber of the Eternal Aegis, Commander Hana." "I'm not a commander," Hana said, her voice small in the big room. "I'm nobody. I was just trying to hide from people who wanted to hurt me." "You are the descendant of Commander Hana the Brave," the Guardian said. "The genetic markers in your blood cannot lie. You carry the memories of your ancestors in your very cells." Hana stood up and looked for a way out of the room. There were no doors that she could see. "I want to go back to my ship. The people there will be worried about me." "Your ship is held safely in our docking bay," the Guardian said. "Your crew members are unharmed, but they cannot leave until you accept your destiny." Fear filled Hana's chest. "You're keeping them prisoner?" "They are guests, but yes, they cannot return to their space until the ancient pact is fulfilled. You must take command of this vessel and prepare for the coming war." Before Hana could ask what war, pain shot through her head like lightning. Images flashed in her mind that were not her own memories. She saw huge battles in space with ships she had never seen before. She saw planets burning and people screaming. She saw a massive dark fleet destroying everything in its path. "Stop it!" she cried, holding her head. "It hurts too much." But the images kept coming. Now she saw star maps with routes to thousands of worlds. She learned the names of weapons that could destroy entire moons. Knowledge of technologies beyond human understanding filled her mind until she thought her head would explode. When it finally stopped, Hana was lying on the floor again. But now she understood things she had never learned. She could read the symbols on the walls. She knew that the humming sounds were the ship's engines charging up. She knew that this ship could travel between stars faster than anything humans had ever built. "The download is complete," the Guardian said. "You now carry the basic knowledge needed to command the Eternal Aegis." Hana got to her feet, but everything felt different now. She could sense the ship around her like it was part of her body. She could feel the stellar dawn in the docking bay, and she could sense the 43 people aboard it. "I can feel them," she whispered. "I can feel everyone on both ships." "That is the neural link," the Guardian explained. "All Viridian commanders could sense their crew members. It helped them make better decisions in battle." "But I don't want to be a commander," Hana said. "Give this power to Captain Lee or Commander Park. They know how to lead people." "I cannot. Only one with the ancient bloodline can interface with Viridian technology. Your human leaders are brave, but they lack the genetic compatibility." Through her new connection to the ship, Hana could hear voices from the stellar dawn. The crew was arguing about what to do. Captain Lee was trying to keep everyone calm, but some people wanted to try to fight their way out. "Let me talk to them," Hana said. "Maybe I can explain what's happening." "Very well," the Guardian said. "But remember, time is short. The hegemony scouts are already moving toward human space. They destroyed your ancestors' civilization once before. They will do it again if we do not stop them." The wall in front of Hana became transparent, and she could see into the docking bay where the stellar dawn waited. A communication link opened. "Between the ships." "Hana," came Dr. Choi's voice. "Are you safe? What happened to you?" "I'm okay," Hana said, though she was not sure that was true. "The alien ship wants me to be its commander. It says I'm descended from humans who lived 10,000 years ago." "That's impossible," said Commander Park's voice. He sounded angry. "You're just a girl who snuck onto our ship. You can't be some ancient warrior." "I know it sounds crazy," Hana said. "But the ship downloaded information into my brain. I can see things now that I couldn't see before. I know things I never learned." Captain Lee's voice came through the communication system. "Hana, even if what the alien says is true, you don't have any training. You don't know how to command a starship, especially one this powerful." "He's right," Hana said to the Guardian. "I don't know how to be a leader. I've never even had a real job." "Leadership cannot be taught through downloads," the Guardian agreed. It must be learned through experience, but the genetic compatibility cannot be changed. Only you can control this ship's full power. Engineer Seo Kyung-ho's voice joined the conversation. If this hegemony is really coming to attack Earth, we need every advantage we can get. Maybe we should work together instead of arguing. Work. Together with a stowaway? Commander Park said. She could get us all killed. I could get you all killed by doing nothing, Hana said quietly. The Guardian showed me what the hegemony did before. They don't just conquer planets. They destroy all life on them. Pilot Kang Minjun spoke up from the stellar dawn. How long do we have before they get to Earth? Hana found that she knew the answer without asking the Guardian. The information was in her head now. 3 weeks, maybe 4. Their scout ships are already at the edge of human territory. A long silence followed. Finally, Captain Lee spoke. Hana, I want you to know that none of this is your fault. You didn't ask for this responsibility, but I have it now, Hana said, and I can't give it to anyone else. Then we'll help you, Dr. Choi said. All of us. You may be the commander now, but you don't have to face this alone. Commander Park's voice came again, but this time he sounded less angry. I still think this is madness, but if Earth is really in danger, we don't have a choice. Through her connection to the ship, Hana could feel the crew of the Stellar Dawn making their decision. One by one, they were choosing to stay and help her, even though they didn't really know her. Thank you, she said, and meant it. I promise I'll try not to get you all killed. The crew has chosen, the Guardian said. Now you must choose as well. Will you accept command of the Eternal Aegis? Hana looked around the command chamber. She thought about her small problems back on the station and how silly they seemed now. People's lives depended on what she decided to do next. I accept, she said. I don't know if I can do this, but I'll try. The moment she spoke the words, the ship came alive around her. Lights blazed brighter, and she could feel the massive engines warming up. She was no longer just Hana the Stowaway. She was Commander Hana, and the war for humanity's survival was about to begin. 3 weeks had passed since Hana became commander of the Eternal Aegis. The time had gone by like a bad dream. Every day she learned more about the ship and its weapons, but she still felt like a child playing with tools meant for adults. Dr. Ryu Inwa, the medical officer from the Stellar Dawn, checked Hana's health every morning. The neural link with the ship was taking its toll on her body. She had lost weight and often got headaches that made her feel sick. You need to rest more, Dr. Ryu said as she looked at her medical scanner. Your brain is working too hard. The connection with the ship is draining your energy. I can't rest, Hana said, sitting on the edge of the medical bed. Every day I don't learn something new might be a day that costs lives later. Captain Lee had moved his crew to the Eternal Aegis to help Hana learn how to command such a massive ship. Engineer Seo Kyung-ho worked with the ship's systems to understand how human and Viridian technology could work together. Pilot Kang Min-jun practiced flying the ship, though the Guardian still controlled most of the navigation. The neural feedback is getting stronger, Dr. Ryu said with worry in her voice. Your body wasn't designed for this kind of connection. We need to find a way to reduce the strain. Before Hana could answer, alarms began ringing throughout the ship. Communications Officer Lim Soo-young came running into the medical bay. Commander, Lim said, breathing hard. We're receiving emergency signals from the outer colonies. Something is attacking them. Hana felt ice form in her stomach. Through her connection to the ship, she could sense the Guardian processing incoming data at incredible speed. The information flowed into her mind like cold water. Show me, she said. They hurried to the command chamber where the main viewing screen showed a star map of human space. Red warning lights marked 3 different colony worlds. As they watched, 2 more lights turned red. What are we seeing? Captain Lee asked as he joined them. Hegemony scout ships, Hana said, the knowledge coming from her downloaded memories. They're testing our defenses and looking for something specific. Science Officer Han Yunjin was working at a control panel, trying to decode the signals coming from the attacked colonies. I'm getting fragments of communications from the colonies before they went silent. The attacks are systematic. They're not just destroying military targets. They're destroying everything, Hana said quietly. That's what the hegemony does. They don't conquer worlds. They sterilize them. The Guardian's voice filled the command chamber. The advanced scouts have found the trail. They are following the energy signature of this ship back toward Earth. The main fleet will arrive soon. How soon? Commander Park asked. Hana closed her eyes and felt the vast network of space around them. Through the ship's sensors, she could detect movement in the darkness between stars. 4 days, maybe 5. That's not enough time, Captain, Lee said. Earth's defense fleet isn't ready for this kind of attack. We have to warn them, Hana said. And we have to help them. Help them with what? Commander Park asked. We have one ship. The hegemony will have hundreds. This isn't just any ship, Hana said. Through her neural link, she could feel the weapon systems of the Eternal Aegis. They were beyond anything humans had ever built. The Guardian, show them what this ship can do. The viewing screen changed to show a simulation. A hegemony battle cruiser appeared on the screen, massive and covered with dark armor. Then the Eternal Aegis fired a single weapon beam. The enemy ship didn't just explode, it seemed to fold in on itself and disappear. The space-time disruptor, the Guardian explained. It can bend reality itself to destroy targets. This ship was built to fight entire fleets alone. Engineer Seo Kyung-ho stared at the screen with wide eyes. How many ships like this do the hegemony have? None, the Guardian said. This technology was unique to the Viridian people, but the hegemony has numbers. They have learned to build ships quickly and in great quantities. Another alarm sounded. This time it was closer to home. The outer defense stations around Jupiter were sending distress signals. They're here, Hana said. The first wave is attacking Jupiter Station. On the screen, they could see the battle happening near Jupiter. Human ships were fighting against dark vessels that moved like predators through space. The human ships were brave, but they were clearly outmatched. We have to go help them, Hana said. You're not ready, Dr. Ryu protested. You can barely control the ship's basic functions. If you try to use the weapons in battle, the neural feedback could kill you. If I don't try, those people will die, Hana said, and Earth will be next. Captain Lee put his hand on Hana's shoulder. We'll help you, all of us. You don't have to do this alone. Hana looked around at the crew members who had chosen to stay with her. They were scared, but they were also determined. They believed in her even when she didn't believe in herself. Guardian, she said, take us to Jupiter. Maximum speed. The ship responded instantly. Through the viewing ports, they could see stars blur into lines as the Eternal Aegis jumped to faster-than-light travel. In minutes, they were approaching the battle near Jupiter. 3 hegemony cruisers, Tactical Officer Jang Ha-yoon reported. They've destroyed 2 of our defense stations already. Hana could see the battle through the ship's sensors. Human ships were trying to protect the civilian evacuation vessels, but they were taking heavy damage. She had to act fast. Targeting the lead hegemony ship, she said. Through her neural link, she felt the ship's weapons charging up. The strain on her mind was immediate and painful, but she pushed through it. Fire! The space-time disruptor beam shot out from the Eternal Aegis. It hit the hegemony cruiser, and the enemy ship simply vanished. One moment it was there, the next it was gone. The other 2 hegemony ships turned toward them, but Hana was already targeting the second one. Pain shot through her head as she fired again. Another enemy ship disappeared. The 3rd hegemony ship tried to run, but there was nowhere to go. Hana's 3rd shot destroyed it before it could escape. But the victory came at a cost. Hana collapsed to the floor of the command chamber. Blood ran from her nose and her whole body shook. Get her to medical, Captain Lee ordered, as Dr. Ryu helped. To her feet, Hana looked at the viewing screen. The human ships near Jupiter were safe, but this was just the beginning. The real hegemony fleet was still coming. This was just the first wave, she whispered. The main fleet will be here soon. How many ships? Captain Lee asked. Hana felt the answer through her connection to the Guardian's vast memory banks. Over 1,000, she said. Maybe more. The crew fell silent. Even with the power of the eternal Aegis, those were terrible odds. But they had proven something important today. The ancient Viridian weapons could destroy hegemony ships. Now they just had to find a way to use that advantage to save Earth and all of humanity. Hana spent 2 days in the medical bay recovering from the neural strain of the battle near Jupiter. Dr. Ryu was worried about her, but Hana knew they didn't have time for her to rest properly. Long-range sensors showed the main hegemony fleet, moving toward Earth, and it was even bigger than they had feared. 1,500 ships, systems analyst Oh Seungmin reported as Hana returned to the command chamber. They'll reach Earth's solar system in 36 hours. Captain Lee was studying tactical displays with Admiral Shin Hyun-woo, who had come aboard the Eternal Aegis to coordinate Earth's defense. The human fleet looked tiny compared to what was coming. Even with our combined forces, we have less than 200 ships, Admiral Shin said, and most of them are patrol vessels and cargo haulers that we've armed for battle. Numbers aren't everything, Hana said, though she wasn't sure she believed it herself. The Guardian told me something during my recovery. There are other ships like this one. The Guardian's voice filled the command chamber. Correct. When the Viridian civilization ended, we scattered our remaining warships throughout the galaxy. They have been sleeping for 10,000 years, waiting for a commander with the proper genetic markers to wake them. How many ships? Admiral Shin asked. 47 vessels remain functional. They are hidden in dead systems and asteroid fields across known space. With Commander Hana's neural signature, they can be awakened. Hana felt excitement and fear at the same time. More ships meant a better chance of winning, but it also meant more strain on her mind. She had barely survived controlling one ship. In battle, can you really command that many ships at once? Captain Lee asked with concern in his voice. I don't know, Hana said honestly. But we have to try. Communications specialist Baek Na-young was working to establish contact with the hidden Viridian ships. Navigation officer Im Dong-yuk plotted courses to their locations. They had very little time to wake up an ancient fleet. The nearest ships are in the Centauri system and the Vega sector, Im Dong-yuk reported. If we send the activation signal, now they could reach Earth just before the hegemony arrives. Do it, Hana said. She closed her eyes and reached out through the neural link. The Guardian helped her extend her consciousness across vast distances of space. She could feel the sleeping ships like dim stars in the darkness. One by one, she touched their ancient minds and spoke the awakening command. The strain was enormous. Pain shot through her head as 47 ship AIs came online at the same time. Each one recognized her genetic signature and accepted her authority, but the effort left her weak and shaking. Signal received, Baek Na-young reported excitedly. All 47 ships are responding. They're powering up and setting course for Earth. ETA? Admiral Shin asked. Most will arrive within 24 hours, Im Dong-hyuk said. Just in time. Dr. Ryu was checking Hana's vital signs with her medical scanner. Her heart rate is too high. The neural load from commanding so many ships could cause permanent brain damage. Then we better win this war quickly, Hana said with a weak smile. As the ancient Viridian fleet began arriving in Earth's solar system, the human crews got their first look at ships that had fought in wars before their civilization existed. Each vessel was different in design, but all carried the same blue energy lines that marked Viridian technology. Incredible, Science Officer Han Yunjin said as she watched the ships take formation. Some of these vessels are larger than space stations. The firepower they represent is beyond calculation. But Hana could feel that power, and it frightened her. Through the neural links, she was connected to weapons that could destroy planets. The responsibility was crushing. Hegemony fleet detected at the edge of the solar system, Tactical Officer Jang Hyun announced. They're moving toward Earth, in attack formation. Admiral Shin coordinated the human fleet while Hana tried to organize the Viridian ships. It was like trying to conduct an orchestra when she had never learned to read music. Each ship AI had its own personality and preferred. Tactics. The enemy fleet is spreading out, Admiral Shin reported. They're going to try to surround Earth and attack from all directions. Standard hegemony tactics, the Guardian explained. They believe overwhelming force will break any defense. They've never fought Viridian ships before, Hana said. Through her neural connections, she could feel the confidence of the ancient AIs. They had fought the hegemony once and won. The battle began at the orbit of Mars. Hegemony ships came in waves, their dark hulls bristling with weapons. The human fleet met them bravely, but they were quickly overwhelmed. Human ships are taking heavy casualties, Admiral Shin reported from his flagship. We need the Viridian fleet to engage now. Hana felt the moment of truth arriving. She reached out through the neural network and gave the order to attack. What followed was unlike any battle in human history. The Viridian ships moved with perfect coordination, their space-time weapons tearing holes in reality itself. Hegemony ships that had seemed invincible simply vanished when the ancient weapons touched them. But commanding so many ships at once was destroying Hana's body. Blood ran from her nose and ears. Her hands shook so badly she could barely stand. The neural strain is too much, Dr. Ryu shouted over the sound of alarms. She's going to collapse. Just a little longer, Hana gasped. Through the network, she could see that they were winning. The hegemony fleet was breaking apart under the assault of weapons they couldn't understand. Hegemony command ship identified, one of the Viridian AIs reported. If we destroy it, their coordination will collapse. Hana focused all her remaining strength on the largest hegemony vessel. It was a massive fortress ship protected by dozens of smaller vessels. Through the neural link, she coordinated the attacks of 12 Viridian ships at once. The combined firepower was too much for even the hegemony command ship. It exploded in a ball of fire that could be seen from Earth. With their command structure gone, the remaining hegemony ships began to retreat, but Hana wasn't going to let them escape to threaten other worlds. Pursue and destroy, she ordered, through the network. The Viridian fleet spread out across the solar system, hunting down the fleeing enemy ships. Within hours, the threat was ended. But the victory came at a terrible cost for Hana. She collapsed unconscious on the command chamber floor, her mind overwhelmed by the neural strain of commanding an entire fleet. Dr. Ryu worked frantically to stabilize her as Captain Lee and Admiral Shin watched with worry. Will she be okay? Captain Lee asked. I don't know, Dr. Ryu said honestly. She pushed herself far beyond safe limits. Her brain may never fully recover. As medical teams worked to save Hana's life, the combined human and Viridian fleets secured the solar system. The ancient enemy had been defeated. But at what cost? The girl who had once been just a stowaway had saved humanity. But nobody knew if she would survive to see the peace she had won. Hana woke up 3 days after the battle to find Dr. Ryu sitting beside her bed. The medical bay was quiet except for the soft humming of the life support machines. Her head still hurt, but it was a normal kind of pain now, not the burning agony of neural overload. How do you feel? Dr. Ryu asked, checking her medical scanner. Like I got hit by a cargo ship, Hana said with a weak smile. But I'm alive. Are the others okay? Everyone is fine, Dr. Ryu said. The battle is over. We won. The hegemony fleet has been completely destroyed. Hana tried to sit up, but Dr. Ryu gently pushed her back down. You need to rest. Your brain is still healing from the neural trauma. You nearly died, Hana. But what about the ships? The Viridian fleet? Are they still following my orders? That's something we need to discuss. came Captain Lee's voice from the doorway. He entered the medical bay with Admiral Shin and several other officers. The Viridian AIs are asking what they should do now. They're still connected to you, but they can sense that you're badly injured. Hana closed her eyes and reached out through the neural network. She could feel the 47 ancient ships scattered throughout the solar system. Their AIs were patient, waiting for her commands, but she could sense their concern for her health. They want to know what comes next, she said. The war is over, but they need purpose. That's what we came to talk about, Admiral Shin said. Earth's government has been discussing the situation. We have 48 alien warships under the command of a civilian with no official authority. Some people are worried about what that means. Hana understood what he was really saying. They're afraid of me. They think I might use the ships to take over Earth. Some people think that, yes, Captain Lee admitted, but others understand that you saved all of humanity. Without you, Earth would be a dead world right now. So what do you want me to do? Hana asked. We want to form a new alliance, Admiral Shin said. A formal partnership between humanity and the Viridian AIs, with you as the bridge between our peoples. The Guardian's voice came through the ship's communication system. The surviving Viridian AIs have discussed this proposal. We believe it has merit. Our two species can accomplish much together. Dr. Ryu helped Hana sit up carefully. But first you need to recover fully. The neural connections damaged parts of your brain. It will take time to heal. How much time? Hana asked. Weeks. Maybe months, Dr. Ryu said. And you can never again command as many ships as you did in the battle. The strain would kill you. Hana nodded. She had felt the damage during the battle, but saving Earth had been worth the risk. Then we need to find a better way to coordinate the fleet. Over the following weeks, as Hana slowly recovered, they worked out the details of what would become known as the Human Viridian Federation. The ancient AIs would work with human crews to operate the Viridian ships. The neural link would still go through Hana, but the load would be shared among multiple human operators with compatible genetics. Captain Lee was promoted to Admiral of the Combined Fleet. Engineer Seo Kyung-ho led teams that learned to integrate human and Viridian technology. Dr. Choi Sumin worked with the AIs to establish better communication protocols. The genetic testing is revealing interesting results, Dr. Choi reported during one of their planning meetings. About 1 in every 1,000 humans has some level of compatibility with Viridian neural interfaces. We can train them to help share the command load. That means we can have human crews on all the Viridian ships, Hana said. She was feeling much better now, though Dr. Ryu still made her rest often. 6 months after the battle, the first formal ceremony of the Human Viridian Federation took place on Earth. Representatives from every human colony attended, along with the AIs from all 48 Viridian ships. Hana stood at the podium wearing the simple blue uniform they had designed for Federation officers. She was no longer the scared stowaway who had hidden in ventilation shafts. The war had changed her, made her stronger and more confident. 6 months ago, I was nobody, she said to the gathered crowd. I was running away from my problems and trying to hide from the world. I never thought I would stand here as the leader of an alliance between two species. The audience listened carefully as she continued. The hegemony taught us that the universe can be a dangerous place, but they also taught us that different species can work together to face any threat. The Viridians and humans proved that cooperation is stronger than conquest. Admiral Lee, who now commanded the Federation fleet, stepped forward. The Federation Council has voted unanimously to name Hana Kim as the first Supreme Commander of the Human Viridian Federation. Hana accepted the ceremonial rank, but she knew the real work was just beginning. Intelligence reports suggested that there were other species in the galaxy who had suffered under hegemony attacks. Some were sending requests for help. Our work is not finished, Hana told the crowd. The hegemony was just one threat among many. There are other species out there who need our help. The Federation will not sit idle while others suffer. Engineer Kim Woo-jin, who had been part of the first team to study Viridian technology, gave his report on their progress. We've successfully integrated human and Viridian systems on all 48 ships. Human crews are now working alongside AI partners on every vessel. Intelligence Officer Lee Ji-soo briefed them on the latest communications from distant systems. We've received 12 formal requests for Federation assistance. 3 different species are asking for help against various threats. As the ceremony concluded, Hana walked to the viewing platform that looked out over Earth's orbital shipyards. New ships were being built there, vessels that combined the best of human and Viridian design. The Federation fleet was growing stronger every day. Communications specialist Baek Na-young approached with a message tablet. Supreme Commander, we're receiving a transmission from the Andromeda Galaxy. It's from a species called the Kythera. They say they've heard about our victory over the hegemony, and they need our help against something called the Void Hunters. Hana smiled as she looked at the message. The girl who had once hidden from her small problems was now being asked to help solve problems on a galactic scale. Tell them we'll consider their request, she said. But first, let's make sure our own house is in order. She turned to look at the crew members who had become her family during the war. Captain Lee, Dr. Ryu, Commander Park, Dr. Choi, and all. The others who had believed in her when she didn't believe in herself. Are you ready for the next adventure? She asked them. Always, Captain Lee said with a grin, as long as you're leading the way. Hana looked back out at the stars where new challenges and new friends were waiting. The stowaway had become a commander, but more importantly, she had learned that running away from problems never solved anything. Sometimes the universe needed ordinary people to do extraordinary things. And sometimes, if you were very lucky, you got a second chance to become the person you were meant to be. The human Viridian Federation was ready to take its place among the stars, and Hana Kim would be there to lead them into whatever came next.